Welcome to Engineering Scale Models. I'm Jason, your host, and I do models and electronics. And today, some soldering. So I'm going to do kind of a quick intro here. I got this package. I got this idea from another YouTuber that did one of these on his channel, Stez Sticks Fix, and I want to do one from start to finish. I have messed around with these items before, but want to do one and time myself to see if I'm any good. So I got a SMD practice solder board here, and then I got another one here. This is the type that Stez Sticks Fix did with the I can open it. It's with the board with the round lights on there. So that's the one he did. I'm gonna save that one for a proper timed thing. I'm going to do this one in 30-minute sections. This is a different one. It's a little bit different. It's got some different chips. It's got a battery holder, so it must do something. But I'm going to do 30-minute clips and see how many clips it takes me to do it. And that includes intros and outros to the thing. So currently I'm running at 1 minute and 27 seconds. I haven't even started soldering yet. So let's take a look at what we have here. Again, we have the battery holder, so that's interesting. We have a set of instructions. How the circuit works, and our little code here to tell us where things go. 3 to 5 volts it takes. Put this like this so we can see what our codes are, and we'll hang it up right there. So, looks like we have a 603 resistor network. Interesting. So, on this side of the board, it shows you how to measure components. It shows you the 402 size, 603, 805, 1206. So it's got the different things. And then on this side is where you solder everything down to. So they are resistor packages. RPI. It's PLR. Oh, that's strange. Yeah, there's 5 of them. SP4R 006. Oh, that's weird. So there's definitely a lot of tight spaces. Probably going to use mainly hot air on this. Like I said, I want to run these videos for 30 minutes, intro, exit, and we're going to see. Does this even have diode? LED? Yeah, L1 through L10 is up top here, so the diodes are going up top. Yeah, strange. Here's another sheet that is the Chinese version of this board, so we'll need that. So let's take a look at what we got here. So again, this is all part of the 30 minutes. So I have some Zener diodes. I have some SOT transistors. It looks like some LEDs. And then we have some larger resistors. These are 1206, I believe. This would be 805, 805, 805. This is going to be 402, 603. These are those resistor arrays. And we have some probably 0603 capacitors. Yeah, 0603 capacitors. And the LEDs for the 0805. Oh, 603. Alright. So there's a bunch of tiny little pieces here. They are 0402 capacitors. No, maybe. Oh, they could be resistors, but they go in this little section here. So this one is going to be interesting. I'm not quite sure where to start. I want to put the LEDs on last and the Zener diodes on last because of the hot air. If I use hot air, let me go ahead and turn my hot air on. Get a nozzle for my hot air. This is going to be quite interesting. Hot air station. So I'm going to use this bore holder right here. So yeah, it's nice and solid. I will be using a microscope. I could start with these QFP packages. No. Oh. Where do these 1206 resistors go? Okay, the 1206 go on this side here. So we'll start with the 1206 on this side. So we're going to start with these 1206 resistors here. And I'm going to be using the FM2032 with a chisel tip. I'll show it to you under the microscope. Let me switch to the microscope here. There's the tip. It is a chisel-y type tip that is dirty. So I'm going to turn my Hacko on. And we are 7.5 minutes into this. Clean my tip here. All right, so let me get the solder out. So I have my solder here. This is leaded solder. And then I am going to get some flux out. I'm going to use this cheapy stuff that I have. Let's get under the microscope here. And start up here in the corner. Let's add some solder to these pads. Solder to that pad. Let me see. Let's try flowing them on with hot air real quick and see how difficult that is. So I'm going to take out my 1206 resistors here. I'm going to spend most of my time doing the plastic on this. And the reason I'm doing 30-minute times on this is because I really can't sit for very long in a row because of my back issues. So I need to take a break after a while, and I don't like to stop the clock and start the clock. So I'm going to do these 30-minute intro things here. So let's take this resistor. We'll put a little bit of flux on it here. A little bit of flux. And we'll resistor. We'll put it on there like so. Grab the hot air, turn the hot air on. Set my airflow to about 30. Now I'll do about 25. Yo, just add another dab of flux. Fill those joints. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my air off and I'm going to change that tip because that tip was a little too small for what I wanted to do. So that's going to eat into my time, but oh well. Just trying to get my tip off of here. Okay, so this is not gonna work. I'm gonna Alright, so while that is doing that part, I'm gonna tin a couple more of these pads here. So let's hit a couple more of those pads, and then we are going to let this cool down. Some of these nozzles don't fit incredibly well. This here, so we're going to add a little bit of flux to those three. And we'll come in here with a resistor. That one. So there we go. There's 4 on. So let's see flux on the board. I normally use a tackier flux in this, but we're going to come down here and I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Try to get more in the shot there. So the second video will be longer because I'm already 16 minutes in and turn on the fume extractor. All right, so I'm going to get these resistors ready to go here. Flipping these resistors over is a pain in the butt. Should be good. I'm gonna add a little bit of flux to these pads here. Flow these resistors on. All right, so I'm gonna get my hot air. Just gonna add a little bit of flux and reflow all them. All right. So there we go. All those are flowed in. Nice and pretty. I'm going to get this side on. Just get a couple more resistors lined up here. I'm going to do this side a little bit different. And see how that goes for my remaining time here. Most of this stuff is aligning the component and to a position to where you can just grab it and go, cleaning your tweezers. So for this side over here, I'm going to take my micro pencil and a little bit of solder, touch it on there, like so. And I'm going to grab a resistor. And I'm going to grab the resistor with its tweezers. And I'm going to place it on there, like so. And I'm going to tin up all these. Resistors. Tap those in, like so. Don't worry about the joints right now. It's gonna get cleaned up in a minute. I know those joints don't look good. They will be looking good in a bit. Alright, so now I'm going to flip it around so I can get to this side of the components. I'm going to come in with my solder. Solder that. So these are crooked, that's alright. Take care of that in a minute. Okay, so that is that. Now what I'm going to do is see if I can put this sideways here so we can see most of it. And I'm going to add flux, liberal Lewis Rossman amount of flux onto these components. And what I'm going to do is come in here with my hot air. So I'm going to reflow all these joints. It should just pop right into place. That one moved. Just going to turn up my airflow a little bit. About 40. Moved. They're all straight. Took the air off. So there we go. So let's take a look at this under the regular camera. So we have this here like so. And we have all the 1206 components on there. So we need to clean this board up, and how I clean the board up is a lot of different ways. There's no set way to clean a board up. So let's take a look here. We're going to, we can use a cotton bud, we can use a brush. I'm going to use some flux remover and a electric toothbrush that I won't turn on, just to clean this up here. And I like to clean as I go. I like to clean the board as I go. I don't like to let the flux cake up on there. So clean it with the flux cleaner. Now they say that flux cleaner doesn't have to stay on there. It can stay on there and it won't hurt the board, but I don't like to leave it on there, so I swapped to some IPA, which is a little bit, I could have just used IPA, but I like the flux cleaner. It really gets the stickiness off the board and vice and all that stuff. So, and normally I normally use a chip quick flux. That was just a knockoff tube of Amtex that I bought from a company that told me it was real Amtech, but it was definitely not. Pretty well-known company, but they want to cheat their customers. That's fine. Let them cheat their customers. They won't have my business anymore. So, but they won't have my business anymore. So this is a clean room white, not a Chemtech white. I normally use Chemtech, but I was having trouble getting the supply of those. They were out of stock. So this is what they sent the company to use instead. They're way more expensive, and they seem to work, but all right, let's take this board out. Take a look at it under here. It was clear. So there we go. They're all in the right orientation. They're all straight. All the solder joints look good. It's actually pretty nice. So that is the 1206 components. They should all be soldered. Let's just take a look here and see. We will measure the resistance across it and see what it reads. All right, so identity, single gen. What? Why does it keep wanting to go into signal gen? And what the heck? That's weird. There we go, manual resistance mode. So I'm going to come on here, I'm going to touch these two. And I'm reading 20K and 1K ohm resistors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 20K. So you read across there. And you really got to push hard. You get 20K. There it is. So I'm measuring across those two pads right there. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. You can check me out on social media. I don't post a whole lot there, but you can also email me. I have switch data. I have all kinds of information that's pretty good. This is going to be almost exactly at 30 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. And you can visit me on Patreon, where I do post stuff with no need to sign up. Thank you for watching.